I'm glad that you said that, Mika, and you led me right into my next subject. Do women today really want to even get married? Has the culture changed so much to where women do not even want to get married?
I think they do want to get married. It's just become increasingly harder. But I think the want is there.
I don't know. I think some do, and I think some look at marriage as it's just slavery, being stuck in the house, cooking, cleaning, taking care of kids.
Mm.
They want to be out doing stuff. They want to travel. They want to be seen. They want attention. They want BBLs. So,
I don't know
but some
anybody in
women
my
are
life.
getting down on one knee and proposing to men. So I think some women still do, but a
If you
lot of
had to
them
like,
don't.
if you had to do a ratio, like if you had to pick more that do or more that don't, what would you say? More that do or more that don't, Molly?
I think more that don't. I think more that don't. And then I think a lot of women are side chicks to married men. So I think that's another reason why a lot of women are kind of like don't want to get married too. It's not really valued in society anymore.
Hmm.
Well, I'm gonna cheat. I have the answers to the test. I watched the podcast the other day, and it was like 70%.
Do or
It's a
70%
don't.
study that do
That they
want to
don't,
still get married?
or
that do still want.
they do.
Yeah,
But the men aren't marrying anything, so it's
but that doesn't change the want. That doesn't, like they still
but
want
if
it.
men
Like
aren't marrying,
if a man,
eventually as a woman, you won't value it because the men don't value it. So how do you value marriage unless you're gonna marry a woman?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm
so
just they
so
just
so let
I'm
me
just
ask another question, Carrie. Let me ask you a question, and then I got a separate question for Mika. Carrie, if you, God forbid, I would never wish this on you. If you was to not be married today, got divorced or whatever, and your kids are grown and adults and they out of the house, would you get married again?
Yup.
I would want to.
Okay, got you,
It
Mika.
probably has more to do with the woman's temperament.
Mika, why do you think that a lot of women are choosing to be in relationships, get with guys, possibly even have their children, but not, some of them is not prioritizing marriage at all and they're not tripping about it?
Say that one last time.
Why do you think that women are not putting a lot? Some women, it's a lot of women, even the 30% that Quentin had mentioned, because 30% is a lot.
Mhm.
Like, regardless of, okay, we could say the majority of the women still want to get married, but 30% is a lot.
Mhm.
Why do you think that a large portion of women are okay with not being married or not getting married?
Oh, I think a large portion of women are okay with not getting married because they tend to get almost all of the things that they would get in a marriage without having to abide by the rules of the man. So
Mm,
if I can get, if not all, most of your wealth, if I can get, assets, property, I can get, a kid, maybe I want a kid that may get your athletic abilities and things like that, or at least the child would inherit your wealth. I'm pretty much getting almost everything except the quote unquote commitment. But in this day and age, do I really want the commitment? One, most women don't know how to handle certain type of men. And then two, they don't want to listen anyway. So yeah, they're gonna pick the other half because this is the easier route with most of the stuff I wanted anyway.
mm. What do you think about that, Quentin?
Um, well, your question or
What do
her
you What do you
answer?
think about? No, what do you think about women? Do you think that the majority of these women that are choosing not to get married or saying that they're not really tripping about getting married. Do you agree with the idea that they get most of what comes along with marriage without any of the repercussions or all of the issues that come along with marriage?
Well, if there's a kid involved, yeah. When the dude dies, you don't really get nothing. What's going on right now?
I have no idea what's going on with Carrie. What is wrong with Carrie?
I'm sorry. Cause Quentin, when you when you called on him, it was like a teacher called on a student not paying attention. He was like, "What?" and then, and then Rashawn Green was like 100% not listening. Like it was just funny. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. That was funny.
No, Quinn. Listen, Quinn cannot multitask. So Quinn, a lot of times he'll be texting a chick, or he'll be going back and having a conversation with a chick, and then he'll get distracted. Don't worry about
Now
it, Quinn.
he heard it.
You said
good
I
enough
can't. No, I.
to say.
Okay. I forgot what we're talking about now.
You know what I'm saying? Quinn can't multitask. Don't worry about it, Quinn. Slimmy, in your opinion,
I was gonna answer the question. Carrie messed it up. I was. All right.
Oh my god. Oh, go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead,
I'm
Quinn.
sorry.
I lost my track. On the Slimster.
Slimmy, do you think that the majority of women want to get married today?
I don't know. I don't think it matters though. Dudes gonna do what they want to do anyway.
What do you
If
mean?
if they don't want that, if they don't want these women, it ain't gonna matter. We just condoned a dude shooting up the club and paying 216 payments, going ahead like that. If these dudes don't care, they don't value these women. What do it matter if they want to get married? I don't think it matters. I really don't. If dudes don't value women, it doesn't matter what a woman wants. Because ultimately, a man has to propose to a woman in a traditional sense. So if these men don't want if they not keeping these women and they don't value them, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters what they want, honestly. And even when they do get married, in reality, it still might not matter to that man what she wants. If she don't live a certain way that he want, she gonna end up being cheated on, and she gonna be in a prison of a relationship anyway. So I think it's just if
I
men
don't
don't
think
value,
I don't think that most women care whether or not they get cheated on no more.
that well shit.
You don't think that for real?
No, they'll just take prep.
I don't think that women give a
You
fuck.
said what? What did you say?
They'll just take prep and just go ahead and let them do what they're gonna do.
Oh
I
my
don't think that
God.
most women give a fuck about if they man is. I think that women care if for a lot of things. Women don't want their man sleeping with another man. Women don't want their man going broke. Women don't want their man to do a lot of things. I think that the last thing that they're concerned about is whether or not he's sleeping with another chick.
I think when I go outside and like my own anecdotal experience, like to speak to the topic, yes, women want to get married. To speak to what you just said, women do care about cheating on, and if kids ain't involved, they get the fuck out. Kids are grown and they getting cheated on, they fucking out of there.
I don't think so.
I think they don't care if there's kids involved. Like, and I'm like, I got a good
I
10
think that if a
women.
man,
Like for my anecdotal.
I think if nothing is changing at home, listen, I could think of 1,000 different scenarios of things that women feel is worse than getting cheated on. 1,000.
I know a kept woman, don't work, kids are out the house, found out her husband's cheating on her, and now she hasn't worked for the majority of their marriage. Getting divorced, now she got to work every day.
That was stupid.
Talk about it. Why is it stupid, Mika?
That's fucked up.
I'm sorry. I was listening to it, and yeah, I couldn't. Like you said, she had all of that, and she found out he was cheating, and so she left, and now she has to work and all
from
of the like.
from my from what I gathered, it's happened throughout, and I guess there's a breaking point.
So okay, so now it's really stupid because I mean, if you're going to have that stance, you should have left the first time.
Well, there was
I'm
kids.
gonna I'm gonna leave the
There was
10th
young
time.
children the first time.
I'm sorry.
There was young children. Now children are grown, so something changed. Like I get it.
Okay,
Like
so so
pay for the kids, but now fuck you, I'm out.
so how old? Okay, what age range would this be
Who?
for the woman? You don't have to say the exact age, but what age range?
Mid 50s.
Oh fuck
What,
that.
come on,
That's,
that's stupid.
that is crazy, bro.
Women as
Carrie's
it
cracking up.
is don't want to work, and now you're gonna send me back out into the workforce at retirement?
Hell no. That's
No,
crazy as hell. I agree with Mika all day long on that one.
no, no, no. Mm-mm.
Carrie, why was you laughing? What was your thoughts?
I'm laughing at y'all.
Why?
What you
What did we say?
mean?
Y'all cracking me up.
What did we say that was so great?
You half the time we're on this stream, Carrie sits in judgment.
I'm gonna just let Carrie be and jump in whenever.
Carrie's face, she'll sit there and she'll make faces and she'll shake her head in disgust.
I know. That's all I do is look at Carrie and look at her faces, look at her laughing.
Nah, I do think that was a little bit. I think she could have worked herself out a better deal than that.
Go ahead, Molly. I know you wanted to say something.
I just if these women want to work, more power to them. If that's what y'all want to do, especially that they're both in their 50s.
See y'all laughing too. It's funny. Sorry,
I don't want to
Molly.
say what I'm thinking. So let me be.
That's what got Carrie laughing because I didn't want to say she was stupid, but I couldn't
Yeah,
think of another
it's
word.
too close to being in the grave to kind of leave.
Yeah,
Like, how much more time y'all have left?
As soon as the ink is dry, I'm clapping cheeks.
you know what? You probably was the one that told her to leave.
Think of a
You
thousand
did it,
different
didn't you?
things.
You told her
I'm
to leave,
kidding.
didn't you?
I could think of 1,000 different things that a faithful guy have put a chick through that's 2 million times worse than anything that a guy that slept with a chick.
A what
And
guy?
then he ain't bringing home no new children. He ain't fucking up the money and none of that shit. Like you said, what? Like what?
Let-
I've seen a nigga gamble their entire fucking life savings and had to get a new mortgage out on the house. That shit is devastating for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of shit, bro. A lot of coaching calls. I've seen a lot of stuff, bro. And I'm telling you that is the if a dude get a nut, but he ain't fucking up the money, your lifestyle is not changing, or whatever, so on and so forth. I'm not saying that is right at all. So let's be clear. I'm not condoning it. But what I'm saying is that shit is not a deal breaker for me. If if
Especially if it's
if,
happened multiple times.
if nothing has changed in the life, you can work that shit out. You can figure that out. That's something that y'all can work through. If the money ain't fucked up, if the kids ain't, you know what I'm saying, absolutely disrupted, you ain't got to take the kids out of private school because he can't afford it no more because this nigga is fucking up the money and something like that. I could think of 1,000 things worse. You can definitely come back from that.
Not everybody can though.
They can, Slimmy. It's pride, it's ego. A lot of times I believe that I believe that a lot of times women start to discuss their issues with other women that be like, girl, I wouldn't deal with that and stuff like that. And it exacerbates the situation. And next thing you know, they on the outs. Now she
Well,
got to
so
work every day and she dusty.
sometimes it's stress though, and stress can kill you.
Yeah,
Why would
but
you
So
have stress
so
you need
from
to
that?
so if
control what you're stressing about.
nah,
It ain't that big of a deal.
you don't know the scenario. So if like if for instance, if someone knows they're being cheated on and it's constantly happening, that's stress. You know
No,
what I'm
that's
saying?
a
That's
discussion.
stress.
That's a discussion.
Well, you didn't have
She
the
could
discussion. If you know, you done had the discussion.
No, there's just a lot of times that women know and they just ain't saying nothing.
she could have made
Uh,
Q Diddy her sneaky link and just kept her marriage together. They both would have had a boyfriend and girlfriend on the side.
That's a discussion,
I
bro.
think I think this gets into what my opinion is on the overall answer. Like, I don't, obviously we don't know how many women really want to get married or not, but I think if I were to go based off of videos, I'll just go off of conversations of women online. I think that either women don't at all for reasons that Mika said, and a lot of women give off the impression that they already can take care of themselves. So it's kind of like, what's the value of a man in that way for me to really want to be married? And then for those who say they want to be married, I think that they're more so focused on the wedding, the look of it, the ring, not the real stuff. So even the cheating, Anton, even the things that you said that weren't cheating, gambling, whatever, because somebody even said in the comments, you technically could come back from that. I think a lot of women don't want to go the full go of what it really means to be a wife, have a husband. Both of y'all are imperfect. Be married for life. They don't. I don't think that as many women really want to sign up for that anymore.
But you know what the flip side of that though, Carrie, is they're willing to be single and share a man.
I keep thinking about this because I do hear women, and I think I've even said it, like, men, if you guys were just honest, a lot more women would be accepting of all of that. I don't really know if we
not
mean
true.
that. You know what
It's
I'm
not
saying?
true.
Like, I've been tossing with that. Do we really want to share, or are we willing to share, or saying we're willing?
Carrie,
Because
it's all
women are
psychological.
more.
It's a
I mean,
thousand
maybe it
percent
is.
psychological. Think about it like this: a woman that's getting with a dope guy, right? Let's say she getting with a guy that got resources or whatever, right? She's not getting into that conversation with that guy expecting for him not to be dealing with other women, but she deal with him anyway. She talked to him anyway. She's still entertained it anyway. Even to the point to where I've heard women online have a discussion and say, "Hey, I'm okay with talking, but if you say that we're going to be exclusive, then that's taking it to the next level." But she don't not fuck with him, even though he fucking with other women. But they not territorial in that until they get more immersed in the relationship with him. Then they start to create the expectation for themselves. But women are fucking with guys every single day. Even to the point. Listen, I was talking to my homegirl today. And she was like, "Yo, Anton, I was out with my girl and this and that." And she was saying that she want to get a divorce. And I said, "Word?" She said, "Yeah," because the guy said, as soon as they got married, the guy financially wasn't in the space that he said that he was, right? Or he was saying, "Yo, I'll cover, can you get the mortgage, whatever, so on and so forth." The woman is incredibly successful, right? Here's the flip side of it though. She said, "I want out of the relationship, I want out of the marriage." So then my homegirl was like, "Oh no, I don't want you to get divorced. Y'all been together or whatever." She said, "No, I just think I just want a boy toy and just live my life and focus on my career."
Now, right. But that's why I said I do think there are some women who are like, I'm good. Like, for all intents and purposes, I can take care of myself till death. In my mind, I can provide for myself until death. So there's no point in me linking up with you legally because
But
I don't
my
really
point
need
is
to.
that but they want to get divorced based off of the feeling or the fact that they say that he's cheating, but then they want to become single, grind, and get with a guy that's not exclusively for them. I don't understand the correlation outside of the emotional connection. How is
It's
it any different?
stupid.
How is
It's
it any
stupid.
different? Is what I'm saying.
Woman logic.
There's like a like I feel like there's there's like a demographic of people who think that way. Like, because the women I'm talking about, it's I know 3 specific women with their dudes 25, 30 plus years, kids gone, fuck you, I'm tired of your shit after 30 years, I'm out.
Well, and
So
I think, oh, go, sorry.
no, what's up, Carrie?
No, I was just gonna say, I think that if she like had a miserable 25 years, because there's that too. You know, there's women who stick it out that long, cheating, whatever, not cheating, what, like they stick it out all the way through till the kids are old enough, and it's like, okay, I have a reason to exit stage left, and now I'm gonna do it. For her, going and getting a job, even though we laughed at it or whatever, but for her, that freedom, that going to get a job, that taking care of herself, that being available to other men, that might seem like way more fun.
Okay, but here's the thing, Carrie. All I'm saying is, wouldn't it be more logical to have a conversation to figure out how she can be happy within a situation instead of silently suffering because she don't want to say anything? Is all I'm saying.
Yes, but she could have said something along the way, and it didn't change anything. Like, or she could not, because here's the flip side. I also think that if you stay with, if a woman stays with a guy who's doing whatever, whether he's cheating, he's gambling,
No,
whatever,
I don't want to add. I'm talking about just purely
just
cheat.
not enjoy, just okay, purely cheating.
Mm-hmm.
To some degree, her staying, depending on the guy, can enable it to continue. So even like talking about it or whatever, if the guy doesn't get to a point where he decides to do something different, then she could have talked about it and try to get him to see, like, I need you to stop or do something different, and
Well,
he's not.
that's under the
So
assumption that the goal or the solution would be for him to stop. I'm saying that there's probably more than one solution than him stopping. You're
what
you're 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 you're
it
you're trying to contain this into the only thing that makes it work is him stopping doing what he's doing. That's the only
oh
solution.
you talking about your solution of bring her on and like let's figure out how to efficiently.
I'm not saying that it's. I don't think that it's any one solution to it. But what I'm saying is, I'm not even focused on the solution aspect of it. Like we can get into that part of the conversation too. What I'm saying is, I'm trying to understand the logic of leaving and then working your ass off only to be sharing a man anyway, when that's the situation that you left, except for now you got to go out here and try to finally, financially fend for yourself.
That's
That's
only
what
if
I'm
they
trying to
only
understand
if
is
they
what is
sharing a
the
man though.
logic? What is the logic of leaving because of an emotional thing to go and do the same shit, if not worse, except for now you don't get the financial benefits that go along with it.
Well, one, I think some women, even if they, I don't think all women are under the assumption that they're gonna go and have to share a man. But for those who don't care, maybe that, like, that's
Then why don't you
I
share the guy that
I
you would?
because she's now saying, maybe in her mind she's like, well, at the very least, if I am gonna share, I can go pick a better guy.
If the guy is taking care of all of the financial stuff, you already got the better guy. Like you
Well,
technically won.
I agree with you. But all right. So Anton, are we sticking with your friend's friend who she? Because I thought you said
This
in the
is one
example
example. This
she's
is one example.
okay. Because I think
You
it.
can
I
frame
think
it. You can frame it however you want.
well, no, because I think it's different if you're the with your example, the woman was making the money and the man wasn't making as much money as her. So to me, I could
Correct.
see
That's true.
where a woman is like, look, I don't need to stay here with your headaches. I can leave
But it
you,
but it's
take
still
care of
very
myself, and
difficult a
I
lot
can
of times.
call John and Paul and whomever, when I want to. Whereas with what you asked Mika, um, I don't have anything. Like for me to leave a marriage where I have nothing, I have to start over from scratch and do it all for myself. Either I just couldn't take anymore, or there is something about that freedom, about
Well, that's a
even if I have
different
to work for
situation.
there's something about that is making me want to go towards that.
Well, that's a different situation because he wasn't necessarily the provider, right? I just use that
Mm-hmm.
as an example to illustrate the leaving to go have a boy toy part. But I think that the example that a lot of us are using is the fact that if you are with a guy that is keeping you comfortable, um, I don't understand the logic outside of the emotion when you leave to go and share another guy with the rest of the world just for the sake of saying that you're single now. I
And
don't.
I
And
don't
that's what
see
I'm
the
saying.
logic
I
in.
don't think that women are leaving that guy saying the next guy that I get with, I'm going to be sharing. I really, even if a woman says it, I don't think that
Oh,
women
they
are,
y'all know
I,
subconsciously.
I, no, I
So,
don't think,
so
I don't think so.
You think that these women go out here, meet this guy, and think that, and then it don't really matter what he tell you. He can say, "Oh yeah, I'm single. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not in a relationship or whatever." Blah blah blah. You think that these women are thinking to themselves, "You know what? I got a guy that is single on the market, is not available to anybody." Like, do you really believe
Yes,
that? They
I
believe
think
that
if
shit?
a woman is going to leave the situation you just described where the man is taking care of all of that stuff, if a woman is going to leave, I think she's telling herself two things. One, I'd rather not be with anybody than be cheated on, and or I'm going to go find me a man who appreciates me, who won't cheat on me. Yes, Anton, I do not think that a woman is leaving that situation like I'll just go find me another man who's going to share me with other people. No, I
And then,
don't think
okay,
so.
so all right, now I got to do it this way. They gonna leave.
Why you think so?
I gotta do it this way. Do you think that a woman? I want y'all honest opinion. You think they gonna leave? Meet Slimmy and think that's and Slimmy. Let's listen. For anybody that has ever met Slimmy in person, Slimmy is a very cool, get along with everybody, nice guy. He gonna make sure you get your photography pictures and shit up and all of that stuff. You think that they gonna meet them a Slimmy, and Slimmy is the perfect example in this situation because Slimmy is a sleeper. Slimmy will have these hoes thinking that they the only one because of how cool and how nice he is, and he not gonna be. Look, see, he not gonna.
Oh no,
No.
no, no, no. Don't use me as an example.
No.
Yes,
I think that
Mm-mm.
you're gonna
Slimmy is the
find
perfect
Mm-mm.
example.
you're
Slimmy
gonna
is Slimmy is a Slim Reaper. Real talk.
No, no, man. I don't
Slimmy,
lie to nobody.
I didn't say you lie. I
I don't have
said
nobody's feeling like they the
nobody
only
said that
one.
you lied at all, Slimmy. I'm saying that the expectation of a woman that then meets Slimmy will be like, oh, he's a nice guy. He's 7'4". You know what I'm saying? He's such a cool guy and he's a nice person. And Slimmy trying to make her a part of the fleet.
no, I think you're gonna find that's where a lot of the women who probably leave marriages and end up never remarrying and never being in another, like they're not with anybody.
But the
They
point is
they
that they meet the Slimmies and they be like, man, this is a nice giant.
I don't know because a lot some well, let me not say a lot. Some of the women who I have, it seems like some women who leave those types of situations, if they don't heal themselves, they leave bitter, and that's kind of how they remain. So they probably wouldn't even look at Slimmy. They might roll their eyes at Slimmy.
I know that. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe it.
I is They might shave their hair low. They 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 Yep.
What? What do you mean they might shave their hair? What does that mean?
I'm probably giving too much personal.
Wait,
Yep.
what?
So
You know when they cut their hair on the side. They almost at that bald headed.
Like I have they ever done a study on men and women who get divorced? How many of those men and women get remarried? Because I would be willing to bet that
Yeah,
more of the
it's like
men
86,
remarry than the women.